X fans. It's Uncanny, the mutant musings of Matt and Siz. This is the show where we discuss Marvel's Uncanny X-Men, the comics issue by issue from 1975's giant size X-Men #1 all the way through to the present day. My name is Matt. I write and draw Steamroller Man, a comedy superhero comic that you can read for free online at steamrollerman.com. And this esteemed gentleman is my co-host, Siz, publisher of Sidrus Comics Australia. You can follow him on Instagram at Sidrus Comics AU. That's Sidrus Comics AU on Instagram. Yep. Hello, Siz. We're back again.
We're back again. And as the cover can say, this is the day the X-Men died.
Yep, I guess
this is probably the last issue. So that's the show over. We'll read this one and then over. Thanks, everyone, for watching.
Yeah. Thanks for watching. It's been nice knowing you, Siz.
We'll have to do another comic after this one.
Right, we'll switch over to the Justice
League.
Too
much fun to stop.
Yes.
So this is when they started putting Uncanny X-Men at the top as well. So
yes, the first. This is the first.
Before that, they did that as well.
No, they didn't. This is actually the first one. I went back and looked.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So this is when it becomes the Uncanny X-Men.
Yeah, so the Uncanny X-Men official.
All of them are Uncanny X-Men, even though they don't say Uncanny X-Men.
Right.
But they had to separate it from the one that calls themselves X-Men in the 90s.
Yep. So this is actually the first John Byrne cover that's inked by Terry Austin, because last issue was the first John Byrne cover, but that one was inked by Bob Layton.
Oh, okay.
But this one's the first one that is inked by Terry Austin, penciled by John Byrne. And it's quite a good one, I think.
Yeah, it is. Love the ghosts.
Yeah, very moody. Very evocative. Looks cool.
Very sad. Very sad. Professor X. He's got no one to yell at.
Yep.
Sorry, I couldn't help but put that one in there.
Nice. All right. Do you want to do your usual thing of mangling the creators' names?
Yeah, that's my favorite thing. Okay, at least I know Chris Claremont.
Yep.
And John Byrne. They are listed as writer, plotter, and penciler. Now, I'm thinking that means that John Byrne's getting in on the story. So that's pretty cool.
I think it is what it means. And yeah, that's interesting because, John Byrne later would be the writer and artist of comics like Alpha Flight, Fantastic Four, Superman. Basically everything he did after this point, he usually would both write and draw. So this was probably where he first started getting into, I want to have more input on the story direction. So yeah, pretty interesting.
Very, very cool. I didn't realize that. And then we've got Terry Austin as Inca. Gene. Oh, we got a Gene on the screen and a Gene in there. Gene Simic. I might be right there. Glenn S. Ween. Roger Stern. These names were easy this time. Roger Stern is the editor, and then we got Jim Shooter as the editor-in-chief. So we're noting who the editor-in-chief is again. So this might be continued on from here onwards.
Yeah. So I recognize the name Simek or Simek. I'm not sure exactly how you pronounce it, but Gene Simek has the same name as Artie Simek, who was the letterer on a lot of the early Marvel comics, like him, Artie Simek and Sam Rosen were like the two letterers on the early, Fantastic Four, Incredible Hulk, Thor, those first bunch of superhero titles that Marvel first started publishing in 1961. So I looked it up because the names, I knew there had to be a connection. Jean Simek is actually Artie Simek's daughter.
Oh, no way.
She took, she entered the family business of lettering comics. And I think she does a great job on this issue. I really actually like her lettering in this issue. I think it gives a nice look
a high praise from you.
The book. Yeah, because... I'm like this lettering freak where I really pay attention to the lettering. So yeah, I think she did a great job. One other thing I'll say about Artie Simek is he also designed the logos for a lot of those early
Oh, I didn't know that.
Marvel comics. So that famous Fantastic Four logo where it's the red lettering and it's kind of like all kind of kooky upper and lowercase lettering.
Oh, yep.
He designed that, which I think is pretty cool because
Cool.
it is a cool logo. So yeah, I just wanted to say that. So yeah, we've got this this picture of Beast carrying Jean through the snow. We left them last issue where they had just gotten out of Magneto's underground base, which had been destroyed. It's under Antarctica, so now they are walking through the snow with no real hope of rescue. How they're going to get out of this, because the rest of the X-Men, for all they know, are died in the explosion.
Yeah, in the explosion,
So,
yeah. One thing I love about this page, Beast looks like a snowman monster.
Yeah.
He's like, why is he all white? I mean, I know he's got a bit of snow on him, but that's ridiculous.
Well, I
He
guess
looks like made of snow.
I guess it would just stick to his fur, you know?
I
Like
guess
the
that's
snow would
it,
be
mate.
sticking to his fur.
Yeah, because, Jean, we can see most of her, but poor old Beast, he's a little snowman.
Yep.
So
Yep.
I found that interesting when I looked at it. I went, that looks a bit odd. He almost looks like a gargoyle.
He does. Yeah, he does.
So, have you got anything about this page?
No, let's
all I
dive
had.
in. Let's dive into the
Making fun of
issue.
the artist's skills. And now he's back to Beast. Woohoo!
Yep.
He's blue again with a bit of snow on his chin.
Yep.
And this is where they see the lights of the helicopter. Well, they don't know it's a helicopter.
Yeah. I do like the way that they drew the lights in that first panel. See how the light on the left is kind of it's squared off as though there's a body of the helicopter covering up the light on the other side. I think I just thought that was a really really subtle detail, really well done.
I like that as well.
And as I said last issue, on the final page when they first burst out of the base, all that snow, like look at all the snow that had to be drawn on this page. Like, it's so time consuming.
Betcha the artists were waiting for them to get out of the snow.
Oh, yeah, exactly. Really labor intensive page for both John Byrne, but more likely more labor intensive for Terry Austin.
Yeah,
he's actually
John might have just written snow here. And
right. Right. Yeah. Exactly.
Well, up to you, Terry. Go for it.
Yep. And then Terry's got to place all those white dots. He probably did it by laying down like just a black base and then getting white paint and just putting white dots everywhere. But that's still very time consuming.
Yeah, well, they've all got lines around them. They're not just white dots. They've got a black line around them.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, oh, my God.
Yep.
Oh. But, I love this page because Jean wakes up like, I'm the most powerful thing in the universe. And I'm unfainted at an inconvenient time.
Yeah. So, one thing I've been wondering about, just in terms of our show, just to go behind the curtain a bit, is should we sort of give a spoiler warning at the beginning of each episode that, hey, we're really, even though this is a 50-year-old comic, and but should we say like, hey, look, we're going to be going into detail about the events of these comics, and if you haven't read the comic and you care about that, like, is that something we should say, or do people
people? Put it in the comments.
If you're watching this, viewers, let us know if you would appreciate a spoiler warning being given at the beginning of each show, because we're obviously happy to do it.
Yeah, of course. Because we do give the ending away.
Yeah, because one thing I was going to say was this is definitely a pattern with Jean
Oh yeah.
Since she became Phoenix, she does do these kind of sudden shifts where she'll faint, but then she wakes up because she's seemingly possessed by the
Yeah.
Phoenix Force.
Which isn't known yet.
No,
Well,
that's why I was saying like this alludes to future
yes,
events that
it
are going to
does.
come up in the next like 20 issues or so. But if you're an X-Men fan, you probably know what I'm talking about. But if you're not familiar with the X-Men,
Well, that's
then
true.
maybe you don't want me to talk about that stuff. So anyway, just a
Just realised I
thought.
left my watch on. I will turn that off now. My apologies. I don't know this. I don't know if this will be a bit controversial,
Mm,
but the one thing I noticed on this page,
yeah.
I don't know if I should go into it or not, but I'm pretty sure they. I could be like way off and just it's all in my mind, but it looks like they
Yeah.
draw a nipple on Jean Grey on the
Mm.
fourth panel.
Oh
And
yeah.
I'm like, is that like something they're allowed to
Yes.
do with the comic? Is this something they've snuck in there?
I think that's a
Or is it
really
just the way it thinks?
subtle. I think
Okay.
that's a really subtle thing. But John Byrne has actually drawn nipples on Storm.
Oh,
Like if you get those artist edition, you know how they now publish these big
oh
artist edition,
yeah,
which
that's
are
awesome. I'd love to have one
color
of those.
reproductions of the inked pages. So it's
Mm.
basically a color scan, but because it's in a color format, you can see like all the little art corrections and stuff. And there's a page in there where you see Storm is in sort of half shadow,
Mm-hmm.
but she's topless, and then you can see like he did draw the nipple, but it's covered up so much that it doesn't come through because the printing was so primitive in those
Yeah, of course,
days.
of course.
But I think certain artists are kind of a bit pervy, um, and
Well,
so they did draw that sort of stuff when they thought they could get away with it.
yeah, okay, that's cool then. If they're trying to sneak it in there past the sensors, I love it.
Yeah, yeah. In this case, I think that's really subtle, but yeah, you can kind of see there is like a little delineation in the ink line.
Hmm.
Good
I don't know
catch.
why I noticed it so like it just stuck out to me for some reason. I think
Oh,
it's like
I know why you
over the top.
noticed it.
Yeah, yeah, we know what I noticed. Okay, we won't go into that. We won't go into that. We'll go to the next page. Phoenix is going crazy. Ah, let's totally ignore what I noticed before.
Change the subject.
Change the subject.
So yeah, this one on panel 3, I love this panel just because of the black
Detail.
versus white shadow work
Mm,
that's drawn in this panel, but also the textures. Like you can see that he's given the texture to the fur collar
yeah, big
of
time.
the pilots' jackets, and then I've been talking a couple of episodes ago how much I love the way John Byrne draws tech and
Yeah.
machinery and stuff like that, and so that's on display in this panel, even with the really subtle like the edge of the windows, like on that left window you can see he's even put like a little bit of technology type
Hmm.
detail.
Yep.
It just all looks really cool. And then, the dials are white on black as well for the
Hmm.
instrument panel. So just a really well drawn representation of shadow versus light. And yeah, it's just really, really good. I love it.
My favorite bit is it's the chopper kind of looks like Phoenix in that last one, that last panel.
Yes.
So I
Yes.
thought that was I didn't know if that was on purpose or what.
Interesting. I
Um,
don't know.
but yeah, old Beast is like, come on, they're under molten lava and it exploded. They're dead. They're dead.
Right. Yep.
So, and then we find out on the next page they're not.
Exactly. So this was interesting because at first I was like, hang on, it's not snowing. But then, of course, I realized, like, oh,
Yeah.
I know where they are.
Yeah, I did right at bottom. I was like, oh, of course, that's where that
Right.
special place is.
Yeah, it's the Savage Land,
The
which
Savage Land.
I've never actually read an issue where this team, like, I'm not familiar with this part of X-Men history where this team first comes to the Savage Land. Like, when I was reading X-Men in the 90s during the Jim Lee era, Magneto and Rogue went to the Savage Land, but that was sort of just a revisiting the storyline. I think it's revisiting this storyline where this is sort of where it was kind of became this kind of classic storyline in X-Men history.
Get thrown into every now and again. What I found interesting about this, because I've only read one story, I can't remember the story, but it was a Savage Land story, and as soon as the X-Men entered the Savage Land, they all lose their powers.
Really?
In the version I read, I don't know if that was to do with someone in the Savage Land doing that, or if it was part of the Savage Land's effect, but in this one, they keep their powers. They've all got their powers.
Yeah, they do keep their powers. That's interesting.
I thought that was a Savage Land thing, but so maybe I need to go back to that story and look at maybe it was something else that was taking their powers, not the Savage Land.
The other thing I thought when I first read this page was, well, hang on, they didn't explain how they survived, but they do actually explain it in a couple of pages' time. So, yeah, one other thing I wanted to say was the Cyclops drawing right in the bottom right corner.
Yes.
To me, that had almost like a manga anime look to his face, almost. Like,
actually, now that you say it.
Yeah. There's a certain cartooniness to John Byrne's general, his art in general does have like a little bit of a cartoony anime look to some of the characters.
Yeah, and
definitely, I definitely felt that on this panel. So anyway, yeah, just something I noticed.
Yeah, I would have liked his hair sticking out a bit, not neatly combed under that hole.
Yeah, that looks a bit strange.
That's just me. Just me being me, noticing things I shouldn't notice.
Like nipples.
Anyway, next subject.
Anyway.
Savage Land.
We'll never speak of it again.
Except every episode, I'm sure it will come up now. Just like I have a go at you with Colossus and Cyclops.
Right, exactly.
That's happening now.
Exactly. So yeah, really good full page image of the Savage Land, like a real panoramic kind of vista. Very nice drawing. Terry Austin, as I've said before, he is really good at inking foliage, and this page is no exception. I mean, it's really like the feature of this panel. Like the characters are actually really small, and the foliage is bigger.
Yeah. This tree branch reminds me of something, but I can't put my finger on it. Just the way it's all curvy and really mutated, you could almost say.
Yes.
It reminds me of something else. I can't think what it is, though. Next page. Let's go for a fly.
Yes. Right. So Banshee, it's interesting that Banshee does seem more attuned to his teammates' emotional states. It's a subtle thing, but he does seem like in previous issues, he's been the one who's noticed that Storm's claustrophobic. Like I think it was Banshee who told Scott that Storm's claustrophobic, don't you realize? And then he also notices that, Scott's brooding and holding stuff in. So yeah, it's interesting that the writing it's never been like overtly stated that like, oh, Banshee is really empathetic towards his teammates, but it's just a subtle thing that Banshee does notice. And in this case, he's like, "Hey, Storm, let's go flying because
you've just been
we've got the wide open sky, and I know they've been going for hours underneath the ground." So, this is also where they explain that the way that they survived was Storm actually used her powers to cool the lava down, which would then slow the lava from getting to them. And then they were able to use their powers to make a tunnel. And then they were going for a few hours underground to get out, and now they've come out to the Savage Land. So, which I thought was also a cool explanation of how they survived. So
yeah, that is. Mm-hmm. And why it also explains why Storm needs to let you loose a little bit because she's been trapped in a hole.
Yep.
There's something about this page I was going to say. No. Oh, no, it's just about Banshee being clued in on their emotions. I'm going to say, with Scott, you just have to be about 3 or 4 rooms away and you'd be clued in on his emotions.
Yes.
So, Scott's holding things in again.
Yep. Surprise.
Screaming 3 rooms down. Sorry.
And then Banshee at the bottom of the page gets grabbed by some dinosaur-looking thing.
Giant lizardy dinosaur thing.
Yep.
It's huge too. Look at it.
Yeah, it's like a pterosaur, flying dinosaur.
Yeah, it's massive. And I love it. We've got ourselves Speedball Special.
Yeah, Fastball Special.
Fastball, sorry, Speedball.
Speedball's a different character.
That's a totally different character. Nothing to do with the X-Men.
No.
Well, he probably does actually. I think he's a mutant, but I'll shut up now. Because he might not be.
Hey, I wanted to ask you.
Yes.
So, panel 2, Scott is thinking Khazar. Now, how do you pronounce Ka-Z-A-R? Because I pronounce it Khazar.
But normally I would say Khazar, but now that you pointed it out, I'm like, well, maybe it should be Khazar.
I've heard it pronounced Khazar.
Khazar, yeah. That makes more sense because there's no Y in there to say Khazar.
Right. Yeah.
And it's like, I've always said it Khazar as well, so I'm with you on that one.
I don't know what the correct pronunciation is. I just was wondering how you pronounced it. Because I've never actually heard like anyone official from Marvel say it. So I don't know.
Did they ever go into the Savage Land in the X-Men animated show?
That's a good question. I'm sure they did. I'm sure they would have.
Find out how it's meant to be pronounced.
Yeah, there you go.
If it is how we do it, or if it's a different way.
Now, one thing I wanted to point out on this page is we've got this series of small panels on the right-hand side of the top tier. And in comics, like I think this is a really well laid out page. Because in comics, the smaller the panel, the faster you read it. So smaller panel means it's something that's happening fast.
Yeah, I
and
never
so
thought of
using
that.
these small panels, especially the close-ups, because there's less to look at in each panel when it's just a big face, like your brain can absorb it really quickly, which means you go quickly to the next panel and the next panel. And so I think that's a really effective way to depict an action-packed, like it's the equivalent of like quick cuts in a film.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So I thought it was really, really quite effective panel layout on this page. And then, as you said, the page ends with the classic Fastball Special of Colossus throwing Wolverine towards the dinosaur.
And it's a dinosaur, so old Wolverine gets to go full Wolverine.
Yes. Yeah, he goes to town on this thing.
And he
Wow,
stays on top of it.
he is tearing it up. Look at the third panel. Like,
Yeah, that's full on. He's
brutal.
like, yeah, that's what it's all about.
Yeah, yeah.
Finally,
That's
I
nuts.
can cut loose.
So it's effective because it does make the creature release Banshee, and then Wolverine just stays on its back, and he's just stabbing it the whole way down.
All the way down.
So then Colossus and Cyclops and Nightcrawler, I guess they're going to meet up with Wolverine wherever it landed.
Yeah, trying to find him, I think.
Yeah.
We've got to find
And I really
Wolverine
like. Oh
looking for
yeah,
more
sorry.
trouble. Oh, sorry,
Say
just
that
reading
again?
what they said. Cyclops says we've got to find Wolverine before he goes looking for more trouble.
Right. So they are looking for him. I really liked that final panel, pulling way back into the foreground and just having the little figures in silhouette in the background. It does give you the sense that someone is watching the X-Men from a distance, and someone is, because there's a thought balloon at the bottom of the page leading off panel saying, by all that's holy, it can't be. And so this is a great page turn moment.
Yeah, it is.
Because you're like, oh, who's this? Who's this going to be?
My only thing with this is I was wondering what's going on with Colossus, because I'm like, you're in a strange place, you don't know what's going on, you just watched someone go with a giant dinosaur thing, and you decided to depower.
That's a good question.
I'm like,
that
what
is
are you doing,
that
dude?
is strange.
You're somewhere dangerous. Get the metal going.
Yeah, that is strange that they've drawn him depowered for just that panel. Oh no, and it's on the next page too.
Is he?
Yeah.
Oh, he is too. Storm comes back. They're all like, yeah, dinosaurs.
So there's this mysterious dude watching them. And I had no idea who this was.
Yeah, I didn't know at first, because I'm used to him being in a very different form.
Right.
Even though he says, I can sense their power from here.
Mm-hmm.
Excellent. They're precisely what I need. I'm like, who's this dude? Why does he need mutants?
Yep. I loved on this page, in panel 2, you can see Wolverine wiping the blood off his claws. I thought that was a really cool detail.
That is a cool detail. There's something else he does in a future panel that really got me, but yeah. I love the whole hairy chest. You're manly. Is that all we got on this page? Sorry.
Yeah. Oh, and they mention a village. They say
I spotted a village,
Banshee's. Yeah, Banshee's like, oh, I spotted a village about 20 miles south. Now, I didn't know that the Savage Land was populated with other people besides Khazar. Like, I thought
he's like the leader of them.
Oh, okay.
That's what I thought anyway.
Okay.
Or
I thought he was just like Tarzan, and he was just amongst all the animals and dinosaurs, but there wasn't like there weren't any other humans there. But I guess I was wrong, because then we do see there is indeed a village that they go to.
And that's the next page. Oh no, the next page is
a little interlude.
They're dead.
So our favourite headmaster is back from vacation.
Yeah, about bloody time.
So they've returned. So this is just checking in with Jean and Hank being back at the mansion. And then Lilandra and Charles are also back at the mansion. And, not much happens. It's just like, Professor X is obviously a bit shook up by the fact that, because at this point, even though, interesting. he's the world's greatest telepath, but he can't sense that the X-Men are still alive in the Savage Land. Is there something to do with the mythology around the Savage Land that would block his psychic powers from reading
I
them?
believe so. Yes.
Oh,
But I mean,
okay.
I'm remembering of Savage Land where it also blocks your powers. So I don't know. I guess this is at the very least blocking his senses.
Right.
I'm thinking he's writing letters to their parents, going, "Sorry, your kids are dead." That's what I thought when I saw this.
That's grim. Oh my god! Wow. I
That's why he's
thought he
crying.
was.
He's like, "Oh,
I thought he was just
letters."
writing something in his journal, like, "Oh, I wish I hadn't gone on vacation so much," or something. I finally realized the error of my ways.
Yeah, maybe I should go with him, being a powerful telepath.
Right. Exactly. He never goes on the missions. Nope. I actually was wondering on this page, the thought did cross my mind. Well, at what point does he start going on missions with them? Because I know later on
when he does gets that yellow chair, I think.
Yeah, there you go. Right.
The very, very mobile chair that can get him around a lot better than a wheelchair.
Yeah, yeah.
And apparently it's full of tech, but you never see it used. But
right.
I remember one issue where they showed the tech like taking someone out, and I'm like, oh, wow, there's tech inside that thing.
Interesting.
But yeah, there's not much going on. Just everyone's a little bit sad, but not very sad, even though people have died. I think they'd be a little bit more upset.
Yeah.
This one's classic. Sean's like, whoa.
Yeah, hubba hubba.
This is a nice
so here they are in this village with it seems to be populated by people who look very much like Mohawk tribes people from the Native American Mohawk tribe.
In Antarctica, as they would be.
I don't know for whatever reason, but they've all got mohawks. Probably just because it looks exotic. My question on this page was, where did Cyclops get those little glasses, little red goggles that he's wearing?
Yeah, I was wondering about that too.
Does he carry them for emergencies?
They might be in his pocket.
Yeah. It's a bit weird. So they've all kind of changed into more skimpy outfits. I mean, we know Storm has said in many issues how much she loves being naked. So we don't have to really wonder why she's changed, but they've all seemingly changed into loincloths and stuff. So I guess it's just when in Rome, do as the Romans do.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I was also thinking, can't she just like zap her unstable molecules and turn it into anything she wants?
Yeah. That's apparently what she can do. So
that's apparently what she can do. Maybe she can't do it since Chris Claremont. I don't know.
Good point.
But I think it's the next page I love. Is it the next page?
Let's go to the next one.
No, it's not. We're not quite there. This is brooding again.
Yeah, so the interesting thing on this page is that Scott is shaving, and then he's like, "Oh, I wonder what I'd look like with a mustache."
Yeah,
which we all do at some point.
Yeah.
I know I have. And then he starts to have these, like, he realizes, like, wait a second, when we saw, like, he looks at his reflection and he's like, oh, I kind of look like Corsair. And Corsair was the leader of the Starjammers, who was in the storyline with the Shi'ar from, probably 8 issues ago, perhaps. Then he starts realizing, hang on, Corsair called me by my first name, by my real name, not Cyclops. So how did he know that my name was Scott? And the reason is that Corsair is actually Scott's father. Yep. And now Scott is starting to like catch on that's the case. He's putting the pieces together. Yeah. So I thought that was kind of interesting that it's the soap opera aspect of like, oh, he's, my long lost father is right there.
Yeah. They're starting to put it together and realize anything's Hank and Jean died, and how am I going to tell the professor? And always worried about the professor. Is this the one? Oh, this isn't the page either. And then he goes back in time and remembers, when him and I've forgotten Havoc's real name.
Alex.
Alex, that's it.
Yeah.
When him and Alex jump out of the plane.
Yeah, I thought this was cool. Like, he's actually starting to have flashbacks to his childhood, which he has no memory of. He's basically got amnesia about his childhood. So I thought this was really interesting and cool that he has this flashback of jumping out of a plane. Like, his mother pushes him out of a plane with his little brother Alex.
With the one parachute.
Yeah. I thought that was really cool. I liked it.
Yes, this is cool. Okay, we're going to get to the page I love.
Hold on. There was one more thing.
Yep.
So the other thing that's happening on this page is that Storm comes up and says, like, look, in my own way, like, I felt as much for Storm as you do. And so if you want to grieve together and you want to talk about it, I'm here for you. And Scott says this such a bizarre thing.
Yeah.
He's like, I wish I had some grief to share. And Storm's like, what do you mean? I don't understand. And then he goes, I don't either. I mourned for Hank, but for Jean, there's nothing there. And it's like, God, he's a weird guy. Like, he's so strange.
How did I not notice this weirdness? Oh, wow.
I just thought that was he's such a strange character. That he spends all this time, like, he holds all of his emotions in. He spends all this time, like, brooding about, like, oh, why won't Jean express her love for me? And even though I've never told her how I feel about her, he expects her to express her feelings for him. And he's just such a strange, like, psychologically screwed up person.
He is. I mean, that's a really weird thing to say. I wish I had some grief to share about the woman I love. More than anything in the universe.
Yeah, it's so weird, right? And then Storm, like, she basically calls him out in the last panel where she says, if you only wanted to preserve the Jean that was like a fly in amber, then perhaps what you felt for her wasn't love at all, which is like, talk about like cutting to the bone of like what the issue is.
Nice one, Storm.
Yeah, really, really quite an incisive analysis of his personality. So again, like really good character stuff being put into these dialogue scenes between the action. And Scott's just such a strange character.
Maybe they ran out of things to say. What can we make him say on this one? I wish I had grief to share.
Well,
What?
I mean, I think it does make him more three-dimensional and more interesting. I mean, he's not necessarily like the most likable personality, but I think that's interesting in a way that he's still like a hero, but he's, like, I think in comics fandom, like Cyclops has as many fans who like him as readers who really dislike Cyclops as a character.
Because their shirts say Cyclops was right. So like, there are people who like Cyclops.
Yeah, exactly. So it's just interesting that the character has enough depth to provoke that reaction.
That's true.
So,
that's true.
Yeah.
Now I think it's the next page that I love.
Okay, here we go.
Yes, it is. Woo! Second panel. Wolverine can't live without his shirt. He's sewing it back up.
Oh, you're right. I
love
didn't
that.
even notice that.
Wolverine is sewing up his shirt. He's not going shirtless. He's going to sew it up so he can put his uniform back on. That cracks me up.
The one thing I didn't notice that at all, because I noticed something completely different on this page is that Peter is going off with two Savage Land ladies, and he says they're going to show me their special island.
Ooh.
And I was like,
Ooh,
is that a
special.
euphemism for something?
I didn't think of it that way. I just thought it was a nice spot to hang out and then use those terms.
Right.
Because this one in panel 3, it almost looks like she's topless. I'm like,
It does.
it's
Speaking
like,
of
what's going
nipples.
on here?
Right. No nipples visible, though.
No nipples.
Not in this one. But
No,
the other weird thing was Wolverine keeps... so this is a reveal that Wolverine keeps a photo of Jean in his belt, like tucked in his belt. And it's a ripped photo, which to me implies that it was probably a photo of Scott and Jean together, and he just ripped it in half.
Ripped Scott off.
Yeah. So that was very interesting, I thought.
I love that.
And as I've said many times before, really nice drawings of all the characters on this page.
Oh, yeah,
like, really great Wolverine drawings. Just the faces, and yeah, it's really, really nicely done. So then, yep, go to the next page. Storm's going for a swim.
Yep.
She likes being out in nature. Someone is spying on her.
Mm-hmm.
And the guy's got a gun. You can see.
Yeah, that's why he's
wearing a holster.
That's the least of their worries.
Yeah. I didn't like the panel in the middle of the page.
Oh, really?
That was, well, it was just such a strange angle to me. Like, it makes total sense if you turn it on its side, which we can't do here. But if you turn your iPad or the comic on its side, you can make sense of it. But looking at that sideways, it just looked, I was like, what am I looking at here? Like, she's...
To be honest, it took me a while to realize that she was lying half in the water and half on the ground. Right. I was like, I thought she was standing, and why was the water going over so weirdly? And his hands of coming through some weird effect on the grass, because it took me a while to realize that was his shadow.
Yeah, that's the other thing I don't think quite works, is the shadow on the ground. It should be just solid black, because it looks like it's like a depression in the grass to me.
Well, it makes no sense, because you've got the lines going from the hands, and that's where they should be stopping, not starting. A shadow of the arms. So that's what really threw me. I thought, she's standing near a weird pattern, and I had to look at it for a while before I realized, oh, she's lying half on the grass, half in the water, and this dude's coming from behind. Okay, it makes sense now. But that took me a while to figure out. So yeah, I agree.
Yep. But yeah, so Storm gets grabbed by this mysterious stranger, and then he starts draining her life energy.
Yeah, which is what he does.
Yep.
I just love there's such power in her. I've never dreamed. And then next page,
and he's changing into something.
Oh, hang on, first. Sorry,
it's not revealed yet. Yeah, they delay the reveal. That's interesting.
Yeah, true. We go back to the team.
Yep.
And I always thought, we've seen this earlier, but this showed it again, that I always thought Banshee needed those wings to fly, but they've shown it quite a few times where he flies without them. And then, which since I've seen him fly without them, I've wondered, why does he have them?
I mean, it gives you the impression of like a sugar glider.
Yeah, and that is
one of those
somehow doing something.
It's like a wingsuit type. Like they actually have those for what do you call it? Skydiving and stuff, where it'll catch the wind. It's essentially one of those suits.
Yeah, that's what I thought. And then it's like he flies without it every now and again. I'm like, oh, why does he have it then? But yeah, that's just a side thought.
Yeah. Good question. But yeah, this is really just a page to sort of delay the reveal, and so the X-Men can get to where Storm is, so they can find out at the same time as the reader finds out
Yeah,
who
nice.
this is, which we
Old
reveal on
Cyclops.
the next page.
And it's like, he hasn't been around since. Does it tell you on here? No, it doesn't. Apparently he was like in a really early X-Men comic. And that's why
I
Cyclops...
wondered about that.
But there's no little box. So maybe it wasn't. Maybe I'm just assuming. Because I've seen him heaps of times, but they were all in more modern comics.
I'm just going to look it up.
I never knew that he was human, ever. I just thought he was always this weird creature. But it's only when he absorbs mutant powers that he becomes a weird creature.
He first appeared in X-Men number 59,
There you
which was that was during the Neil Adams run,
go. Oh, okay.
written by Roy Thomas and drawn by Neil Adams.
Nice.
So there you go. He does have history with the X-Men.
I thought so, because the way that Cyclops reacts to him is like, oh, don't go near him. So he knows. He knows about him, what he's all about. And we're left with, Storm's dead.
Yeah, this is a cool drawing. Just everything about this drawing, like Cyclops' head in the foreground and Storm's pose, and then the cool drawing of Sauron, and even the smoke in the background looks like it was done with charcoal or a pencil, which I really liked the effect of that.
If it wasn't, they impersonated it or whatever, recreated.
No,
it really
I think
well.
I think it's definitely got to be like
be.
pencil, the edge of a pencil. Looks
Looks
awesome. Really great. So I'm just reading on the Marvel wiki the origin of Sauron, because I really don't know. I don't think I've ever read a comic with Sauron in it. Like I
have a few times. Yeah.
I knew the character just from general kind of Marvel comics lore, but it says Sauron is the alter ego of physician Dr. Karl Lykos. After being bitten by mutant pterodactyls, Lykos was transformed into an energy vampire able to absorb the life force of others through touch. If Lykos absorbs the life force of mutants, he transforms into a humanoid pteranodon, gaining increased strength and speed in the process. However, this also causes Sauron to gain control over Lykos. Throughout his history, Sauron has often been depicted as inhabiting the hidden prehistoric jungle of the Savage Land and as an enemy of the X-Men. So there you go.
Nice.
Talk about a wacky origin.
Yes, mutant pterodactyls. I love that.
Oh, so here's a further explanation.
Oh.
Roy Thomas and Neil Adams originally envisioned Sauron as a bat-like creature, like a real vampire, right?
Okay.
Well, not a real vampire. I don't believe vampires are real, everybody.
Vampires, that makes
just
sense.
so you know. But because of the Comics Code Authority, so the Comics Code Authority was started in the 50s as a response to these over-the-top comics published by a company called EC that were horror comics. And so the Comics Code Authority had all these weird rules that you couldn't show werewolves, or one of them was you couldn't show werewolves or vampires.
Really?
So, yeah. So they were told, Roy Thomas, and this is according to Wikipedia, Roy Thomas and Neil Adams originally envisioned Sauron as a bat-like creature. But when they consulted with the Comics Code Authority, they were told that an energy vampire with a bat body might fall under the code's prohibition on the use of vampires. So to get around this problem, they tweaked his appearance to that of the most bat-like animal that they could think of, which was a pterodactyl, which in turn led them to have Sauron inhabit the prehistoric jungle of the Savage Land. So
Wow.
that actually makes the whole character make a lot more sense, because I always thought Sauron was one of those characters where I was like, I don't understand. Like, why does he turn into a pterodactyl? That doesn't make any sense.
Well, I've only ever
But
seen
now
him
it
as a
makes sense.
pterodactyl.
What's that?
I've never seen him in human form. This was new to me, finding out that he turned into this, because I've always seen him as this to start with, because he's already absorbed a few mutants, I guess, on the way to the story I read.
Yeah.
And I did always wonder, it's like, wow, that's really weird. Make him look like that, and he sucks powers out of mutants. That's weird.
Mm-hmm.
Why did they make him like that? But that makes a lot more sense. They were trying to make him into a vampire, and they weren't allowed.
Yeah. Isn't that interesting? I had no idea. Very interesting. Okay, well, we've come to the end of another issue, my friend.
Yes, which brings us to the band name.
Okay, so for this issue, I did find some phrases in the comic dialogue which could be used as inspirations for band names. The first one was on page 12, which I'm just going to go to find which panel. So page 12 was the page where Storm comes out of the hut and she's in the loincloth bikini type thing, and Banshee's like, hubba hubba. So there's in panel 1 of that page, Banshee has a thought balloon where he says, I've courted the Reaper. Why couldn't he have taken me in their place? He's thinking about the other X-Men.
Oh, that's nice.
Jean and Beast. So I thought, court the Reaper, Court, Court the Reaper.
That's nice. I like that.
Is a good band name. And then the other band name was on page 14. I'll just find what panel that was on. I can't find it. Is it page 14? Anyway, oh yeah, it's the first line on page 14, like a line of toppling dominoes. So toppling dominoes, the toppling dominoes. Is another band name. So those are the two choices. You get to pick which one we're going with for this issue.
I can't decide. They're both cool names. Toppling Dominoes. I'm taking far too long, aren't I? We'll just go with Toppling Dominoes.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't really matter.
I don't know why I was thinking about it so hard. Toppling Dominoes.
It's not a real band. So which one did you go with?
Toppling Dominoes. Is that what you said?
Toppling Dominoes. Yeah, the Toppling Dominoes. Right. Cool. Very good.
Yep.
Another episode in the books.
Yeah, because we've had a lot of heavy band names, and that's what I think the other one was. So I thought we'd go with a little bit more.
Yep. Yeah, this one sounds like a 50s doo-wop band or something.
Okay, yep, that nice.
Yep.
Well, that's our band name, and that's us for the week. If you have any comments, put them down in the comments, I guess. There's a good place for comments. And remember to like and subscribe to the channel. That would be great. See more of us. Give us a reason to do more of these. And not that we will stop for that anyway, because we have a lot of fun, as you can see. And we hope you have a lot of fun with us. So until next time, we're doing issue, and I've done it again. 115, is it? Next one?
That's the next one, yep.
115. We're coming back to find out what Sauron, I'm pronouncing his name weirdly, is all about. Until then, I am Siz. You can find me online on Instagram at Sidrus Comics AU. And, Matt, where can we find your stuff?
You can find my comic Steamroller Man at steamrollerman.com.
Awesome. Well, goodbye, everyone. Thanks for joining us. Hope you had as much fun as we did, and we will see you next week for the next episode.
Yep. See you tomorrow. Not tomorrow. Why did I say tomorrow? I got to work tomorrow.
Another one tomorrow. Oh, I've got to change my schedule. Okay.
I'll see you next week.
See you next
week.
See you next week, Matt. See you next week, all the viewers.
Yep.
All
right. See ya.
See ya.